Mr. Butler, congratulations for such an amazing work. I
Thank you.
don't know if I saw you playing Elvis or I saw you being possessed by the spirit of Elvis, but it was something to behold, very, very visceral, to the point of I'm just wondering how you prepare for those performance scenes. It's so physical. When you have your body, your mind so engaged in those moments, how was the challenge of keeping the other part of the equation present? Like, okay, so now I have to hit that mark. I need to look that way. Did you allow yourself to go in 100% and forget all about that, or how was that process?
It's a really good question, and it was something I was asking myself the whole time in preparation. Thankfully, I had a year and a half, so I had a long time of getting to try things and see what worked and what didn't. And I knew certain performances were going to be in the film, and so for those, I would study them for countless hours for a year and a half. It was all I did during that time, and what comes with that is you sort of go from this experience of watching and breaking down one moment and looking at everything that's happening in the picture. And so you see what his hands are doing, what his eyes are doing, what every part of his body is doing. And then you get incredibly meticulous and then start asking why. Why does he move in that way? Why in that moment? What instrument is making his hand move? And so I ask a lot of questions. And then and I had an incredible movement coach named Polly Bennett who had worked with Rami on Bohemian Rhapsody. And so she was really helpful in the process and just a vital teammate in that, because we could watch together and sort of use two minds to think about these things. And then but the thing with it is that he never was doing moves. He didn't have choreography. So for me, when I was out there, it couldn't feel that way. And so it was the balance of getting really meticulous, but then it always had to come from the soul of the music. And so I had certain experiences like going to a gospel church with Baz in Nashville where we recorded the gospel numbers and that are in the film of little Elvis going in there, and I felt the rapture of the music. I felt the chills all over my body and the tears coming down my face and stomping my feet with everybody singing and the feeling of music moving you. And so once I had a number of those experiences, then I knew that when I was on set, if I wasn't experiencing that, then I was doing something wrong. So I had to constantly be coming from that place and then trust that I had done the work by that point and I wouldn't have to think about what my hand was doing because it would just do it. You know, it was that sort of thing. And Baz created an environment of freedom where he pushed me right to the edge of what felt possible, but I always knew that I would be safe. And he also, it was very immersive, so we would do the entire concert. You know, in Vegas, the curtain would come up, I would walk on stage, we'd do the whole concert, curtain would come down, and I'd walk off. So every time it was the whole thing. So it helps me and the audience to both feel like this is real. It's happening for the first time right now, you know.
Incredible work. I'm talking about feeling safe, having a scene partner like Tom Hanks. How was having him playing that character affected the way that you played your character Elvis during those very dramatic and sometimes intense and sad moments?
It was everything. It was, Tom is such an incredible actor and also an intensely kind person. You know, he's very generous. And so it would be so much more challenging if, as Elvis, I'm looking at him and just seeing a villain. Because why would I listen to him? Why would I be swayed by anything that he says if I just see evil? Instead, what I saw was care and charm and a belief that he was doing the right thing. And that's what he brought that was so amazing, because you can read things on the page and just see a villain. But Tom brought that, and a lot of that came from his conversations with Priscilla of saying, you know, Colonel was kind of a delightful guy. Like, yeah, he was crooked and he had all these things there's also the quality of the tragedy of Elvis's life being that one of the tragedies being that he never got to tour the world. He never got to get to see people from all over the world, and at a certain point he stopped being creatively challenged, and I think that what came with that was physical deterioration in that time, and so it really there's many tragedies in that, but that's what Tom brought to it. Besides just being a great guy for me to be around, and I just admire him so much, and he's wonderful. It was that, that he made that so much more complex.
Absolutely. This film is going to be part of the award season conversation for sure. For you, at this point in your career, how do you see that whole thing? Do you even make it part of the equation when you pick a project? Is something that you're looking forward to it? Maybe not. How do you see it now?
Oh, awards?
Mm-hmm.
I never want to. For me, choosing to do a film, especially now. I mean, for many years I was choosing to do things because I needed to pay my rent. I needed to pay for gas, and now I'm at a point where I'm able to, be fortunate enough to do something like this, which was purely about the exploration of Elvis's humanity for me, and getting to honor him and honor my mother, and like it was very personal for me. So yeah, I mean, obviously, like when anybody says, hey, you did a good job, my heart flutters and it feels really nice, because when you work really hard on something and somebody says, hey, you did a good job, or you honored my father or something like that means so much more than anything to me. So of course it feels good, but I can't really think about those things right now. I'm just enjoying being in Memphis.
Absolutely, and working with amazing directors like Tarantino, Baz Luhrmann, Denis Villeneuve. How does that make you a better actor, a better performer? I mean, collaborating with these people that are at the top of their game.
You just learn so much from them, because they've done it for so long, so they're imparting wisdom, whether verbal or nonverbal. But they're also creating these opportunities that come with challenges, and so you have to step up your game when you're around all the people who, it's like playing tennis with a really great tennis player. It makes you better. So that's definitely something from that.
Absolutely. This is a Warner Brothers film. You are doing Dune Part 2 right now, another Warner Brothers film, blockbuster. And I wonder if, the potential of being part of another Warner Brothers blockbuster, that is the DC Universe. You were part of that on the small screen. Is that something that entices you? How do you see the superhero genre or category nowadays?
I like a lot of superhero films. I remember watching The Batman and being really, just mesmerized by it, and I loved that it felt like a film noir, and I was really, I loved that experience. I've been really inspired by certain stories and certain filmmakers, so that's kind of what's leading me.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing more. Thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much, man. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir. Take care.
Thank you.